What is up, my nerds? Welcome back to another episode of The Nerdy Mind. It is me, the host, the man, the myth, the legend. I am back with another episode. But there's a couple things I want to talk about. It's a great time to be a nerd because we have a lot of things coming out. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. New games are coming out this year. I reacted to the Mortal Kombat trailer. It is up on my channel, The Nerdy Mind. Check out my reaction. See if you agree with my input of the game. But I can tell you from watching the game, it is cinematically amazing. Also, I will preface this. If you cannot handle gore, do not watch it. Because how cinematically amazing the game is, it's pretty graphically gory. It's pretty messed up. I was shocked by how graphic it got. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. I mean, of course it's gonna be graphic, but I was very shocked on how good graphically it's gotten. It was amazing. It was almost looking at like it was being shot in real life, with a real life camera and their actors. But yeah, it's crazy how far we've come with cinematic, like graphic design, trailers and everything. It's amazing. But yeah, Mortal Kombat's coming out September 19th. You can pre-order and play the beta now. It came out May 19th, so we're a little late to the game. It's May 21st right now, so we can go on and either pre-order and play the beta and see what you think. I'm thinking about doing it, playing some Mortal Kombat on the Nerdy Mind Gaming. So check out the Nerdy Mind Gaming on Saturdays, new episodes. I'm trying to finish Hogwarts Legacy, but also, I have a PC now. That was donated to me by my friend Jason. Thank you, Jason. I cannot say thank you enough. I really, really, really appreciate it. He's an amazing guy. I appreciate having him in my life, especially not just for things he does, but he's just overall generally a great person. And for him to just say, hey, I have an extra PC. It just sits here. You want it? I was shocked that he was just willing to give it to me. But, yeah. And it's not going to go to waste. We're definitely going to play some PC games. Yeah, really excited to hop on Steam. Play some Pummel Party. Get a few guys together. Play some Pummel Party. It's pretty much like a Mario Party type game, but more adult. Because you can do some crazy stuff in that game. And the mini games are pretty cool. But he was showing me Ark. Ark is pretty much a game that I've gotten pretty addicted to already. You start out as like a primitive character. You craft things and try to level up without dying. You have to feed yourself. You have to get water so you don't dehydrate. And you learn new skills as you level up through the tiers and to become from primitive to modern times. And it's pretty cool. And it's crazy how much time passes when you're playing the game. Like 4 hours, I'll be doing something. Like I'm in game for 4 hours. And then all of a sudden I look at the clock. I'm like, damn, what have I been doing for 4 hours? Like, I've been collecting wood and materials just to build things. And it's addicting game. So if you haven't played Ark, go play Ark. And I guarantee you, you will not be let down. It's a very, very fun game. But yes, thank you, Jason, for that. So, that being said, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter are coming out. I saw a little bit of the beta gameplay of Street Fighter, and it looks amazing. Do you think it's going to be the year of the fighting game? especially with these two big iconic games coming out at the same time this year, I think I am making a prediction, and you're hearing it here on the Nerdy Mind, that I think that the fighting game is going to be the game of the year. I think it's the year of the fighting game. I think FPSs need to kind of take a back seat. Let's put FPSs on the shelf because they've kind of been running the show for so long. We've had Call of Duty, we've had Battlefield, you know, um, Apex, and all them. I love a good first-person shooter. I'm a big Call of Duty guy. I love a good first-person shooter, but I don't know. I think it's just too played out. I think it's just too boring to me anymore. You know, I think it's time to kind of like take the back seat and then let something fresh come back in. I mean, fighting games aren't new. We've had fighting games forever, but we've also been having FPSs run the show for so long that having a new Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter game is kind of a breath of fresh air type of thing. That's all I'm saying. And to have those come back, especially cinematically, where they've gotten, is amazing. I can't wait for the Rage Quit videos so we can react to those, because you gotta love a good Rage Quit video. I mean, if you have ever seen a Super Smash video where people just playing Super Smash in a tournament and they lose and then just chuck controllers across the room, that gets me going. It's hilarious on what people do. I mean, I used to rage quit at some games, but I would throw my controller into like my couch, like my pillow, because I couldn't afford to break a controller, so I kind of was like tossed it into the couch a little bit. But I'm kind of past that point now. I don't really rage quit like that anymore. I kind of just laugh at it. So, check me out on the Nerdy Mind Gaming as I play some Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and let's see how good I thought I was, and why good I thought I was, meaning bad I am now at it. But I might be able to hold my own. But yeah, so leave a comment. What do you think? Do you think it's the FPS games need to kind of take a little backseat, sit on the shelf for a little bit to kind of like cool down, and then we have something new-ish come in, and then maybe FPSs will come out with something revolutionary, and then it'll be like the top dog again? Or do you think first-person shooters are still the top dog? Leave a comment on what you think in the comment section. But that's a little synopsis of what I want to say about games. But there is something that is coming out. Not only do I love fighting games because they had a deep-rooted part of my childhood in the gaming world for me, but there are two things that are coming out in the gaming wise. And another deep-rooted part of my childhood was racing games, and I still love racing games. I love a good F1 game. I played F1 2021. I started watching F1 racing in 2019 during the pandemic. I got really into it. I'm still into it. Go Max, go Red Bull. I love Red Bull racing. So I love a good F1 racing game. This is very fun. Really, especially if you build a lot of them simulators. Like people have some setups where it's like a real chair, nice shifter, steering wheel, and pedals. I was playing with one in Best Buy the other day, playing a little demo and like feeling the steering wheel, and it was a crazy the resistance they have, like the motor control resistance they have in the steering wheel. It almost felt like I was driving a real car. It was pretty cool. But that being said, I love a good racing game. I loved Need for Speed. I remember having Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on the computer as a kid. I had Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2. That being said, Need for Speed has kind of fell off to me. They kind of lost their roots from what made Underground and Underground 2 its iconic game, taking a really crappy car and making it an amazing car as you keep winning races. Like I remember having either a Miata or a 350Z, and the Miata was always the slowest car, obviously. But then you could really, really boost it to get it really fast. And I also had like a Nissan GTR. I don't know if I had a Toyota in that. I think I had like a Celica or something. But you could. It was just cool how the customability of Underground 2, even Most Wanted, was amazing. I would even throw was it Drift? I got really good at Drift too, I think. But yeah, you could take a car, already start out making it like cheesy by like do color matching and graphics, like designs on the car. It would be slow as dog ass, but it would still be your setup. And then like as you keep winning races, you put better parts, better engine, bigger turbos, your suspension, you could put camber on the wheels, you could have a wheel set up. And like it sounds simple, but they had this thing where like you made the car your own. And then as Need for Speed went on, they're like, let's take away the thing that makes you you and just give you a car. You just pick a Mustang, or you just pick a 350Z, and you do like little upgrades, but you couldn't really do what Underground did. Unless I just played the wrong ones, like later on. Let me know if I'm wrong, but if you played all the Need for Speeds, you know that Need for Speed Underground 2 had like this thing about it, let alone the soundtrack. Racing and having that soundtrack hit was amazing. So that being said, I thought Need for Speed kind of fell off, and from what I read in the article, looks like the old school Need for Speed Underground 2 is getting a remake, like a refresh. And if this is true, it's going to blow people's minds. I think it's going to be a hit. I think it's going that like the Need for Speed genre of racing games is going to, people are going to just start tossing money. I think they're going to just start throwing money at it, because I will be first in line. Well, I don't really wait in lines anymore. I kind of just download games. But you bet your ass that I'll be one of the first ones to download that game and be hopping on playing Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2, because God, I miss that customability type of thing. Yeah, it's almost like when you play an MMO RPG, you get to go into the roots of making a character. You can make the character look like you, your hairstyle, your hair color, or you don't want to make it look like you at all. What you wish you looked like. Choose your class and race and fighting style and all kinds of stuff, and your armor. People love the thing of just creating something of their own. They like making their own thing. And that's why I feel Underground and Underground 2, even Most Wanted, were such a hot commodity game, and why they did so well as a racing game, because you could take something that was a turd and polish the turd and turn it into a gem. It became a diamond. I don't know if that analogy works, but it works for me. But it's just, if they do this, it's going to be amazing, and I'm going to spend hours and hours and hours, like I did as a kid, playing this game. Talking about MMOs, before I talk about MMOs, leave a comment. Do you think Need for Speed should do this? Kind of take a step back, find their roots again. Sorry, I keep bumping the table, and it shakes the camera, so I'm sorry. Do you think the creators of Need for Speed need to take a step back, check out Underground 1 and 2, and see what they did well with and why it was such a hot seller, and just do that, take that, and just put the new graphics with it, and then call it Need for Speed Underground Unlimited or something like that, or Underground Newly Loaded, something stupid. I don't know, and then just give us what we've always had. Give us what we always had, and just let us enjoy the nostalgia of playing this game again. But leave a comment on what you think. Do you think we should have a remake, or do you think we should just have a new game with the old school setups? So let me know what you think. You think I'm wrong? You think I'm right? But I was talking about MMOs. Who doesn't love a good MMO? I love a good MMO. Played Final Fantasy 11. Played Final Fantasy 15. I never got into World of Warcraft because I didn't have a PC at the time. I was always a console gamer until now. Now that I have a PC and I can understand the old appeal to it, because I can get lost in a good PC game right now. But yeah, I always played Final Fantasy as a good MMO. I don't know if this is considered an MMO, but I played Dragon's Dogma, made by Capcom. If you ever played that game before, go check that out. I wish they would remake a second game of that, because that RPG is amazing. The class styles you had, and then being able to mix class styles together as a hybrid was pretty cool. And the whole concept of the game was pretty awesome. And it gave you decisions. It's almost like having the Tall Tale series games with an RPG, and depending on how you made your decisions throughout the game, kind of gave you a different storyline. It was very attention to detail oriented, and good on you, Capcom. Remake that game, please. But yeah, who doesn't love a good MMO? I played Final Fantasy 14. They had so many DLCs for Final Fantasy 14, and I used to get lost in that game. Yeah, so it seems like, if you haven't heard or if you do not know, I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I love Lord of the Rings to death. I read the books, I watch the movies all the time. And apparently they're making a Lord of the Rings MMO. MMORPG is in development already. So it's not like it's rumor. It's been said that it is happening. That's amazing. I don't need to play as Aragorn, nor do I need to play as Legolas or Gimli. They're their own things, but give me the ability to be a ranger, or give me the ability to be a Gondor knight, or be a wizard in the order of wizards. Some people might want to be hobbits. Who knows? They serve a purpose. But to give me the ability to make a character and fight along. I don't know what storyline they're going, if they're just gonna have its own story, or if you'll actually if they'll just do from movie book 1, the Fellowship to the Two Towers to Return of the King, and so on and so on. But you get to create your character, your class, level up, and just play throughout the story as your own character would be amazing. Fighting alongside Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Gandalf, all of them. And maybe I'll be able to save Boromir. you know, my boy didn't have to die. He should have used the shield. Fight me. I just don't understand why he had a shield and didn't use it. I still do not understand that. But hey, I didn't write the book. But yeah, like, if you've ever played Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers cinematic game and the Return of the King game, they were really, really fun. And then you got the Shadow of Mordor games. Those are fun in its own right. Being able to kill orcs and goblins with some crazy counters was pretty cool. But to have your own MMO and starting out as a low class warrior and working your way up to be something uh, pretty cool, especially if you could be a wizard. I mean, they never really established too much magic in Lord of the Rings, so getting to have the idea on what a wizard could do in the world of Lord of the Rings will be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to a Lord of the Rings MMO. I don't know if we've ever really had a Lord of the Rings MMO. Maybe I think I slightly remember a Lord of the Rings Fellowship game on the Xbox. And I don't know if it was an MMO or if it was just a regular RPG. But leave a comment on how you feel about Lord of the Rings MMOs. Do you love MMOs or do you think MMOs are boring? You don't want to do all that bull crap of customizing. You just want to play a regular RPG. You're given a character, you run through the story, and yeah, let me know. Do you or MMOs the better of RPGs? But that's all I got for game stuff, and I think it's gonna be a good year for games. I'm really really excited for games to have more content coming out with all these games. But if you don't like superheroes and you think they deserve to be punished, then you should watch The Boys on Amazon, because The Boys show is basically about superheroes that been capitalized like athletes. Let's look at it like the real world athletes, okay? And movie stars. They get sponsorships. They get money. And then some of them on screen are amazing. And when they're having interviews, they're very nice and genuine people. But then when you hear in their own private lives, you come to find out that they're like a jerk, or they're really, really mean to people, and they're not genuinely nice people. And money changes things. Capitalism changes some stuff. Capitalism is good and bad in its own right. But so the whole concept of the show is, these superheroes are owned by a company, and these superheroes are paid out for being superheroes. These corporations, they do ads, they do commercials, they do movies. They do some superheroing in the show, but you get to see like corporate greed if it, like, it's almost like real. Like, if there were real life superheroes on what corporate greed could do to someone, and like how they could like incorporate it into like a superhero-esque type of thing. Like, they all have agents and stuff. And I'm not trying to spoil too much, but I would say, maybe I'd say 80%. Let's say 80% of the heroes in the show are straight up a-holes. And they've done some messed up stuff because they can't be stopped, technically. They're stronger than the average human, and they know it. So they do some mess up stuff, and there's there's a character named Billy Butcher who uh does not like heroes, and he kind of builds a ragtag team of people who have had messed up stuff happen to them in their lives because of heroes, and their whole purpose is to stop um these heroes from doing messed up stuff. So it's almost like there's heroes of against the actual superheroes, and it's pretty crazy. It gets graphic. It's pretty wild on what they show in the movie in the show. Sorry, and the overall story is pretty crazy because it goes down a rabbit hole of different stuff. Um, but the whole point of why I'm bringing the show up is apparently they're making a movie of the show. I guess they're bringing the characters from the TV world into the big screen, and I don't know if it's going to be like a continuation of the show or if it's going to have its own thing, but I can't imagine. I cannot imagine what the movie will be like if the show is already like this. I mean it makes it a little bit easier because with it being streaming and Amazon, Netflix and all and HBO Max, well it's Max, it's going to be Max now. But all these have their own platforms so they can have kind of their own they can do pretty risque stuff rather than being like broadcasted on TV. You had limitations unless it was like on HBO or like Cinemax, like on like the movie channels. You could do some different stuff, be a little more adult with it. But with these streaming stuff, they kind of write, the rules. And Amazon gets pretty deep with the boys. It gets pretty deep. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, with Amazon getting how deep they get with the show and how dark it gets and how graphic it gets, I mean, I guess you could go even farther maybe with the movie. Um let me see what the movie might be based about. So, it says the hit Amazon Prime series The Boys is officially coming to the big screen. God help us all. The Boys made its debut on Amazon Prime Video in 2019, and since that time, it's been one of the most popular TV shows in this generation. So, let me see. So at this time, the writing The Boys season 3 has concluded, and the fans are now eager awaiting the fourth season, expecting to arrive sometime this year, 2023, on Amazon Steam platform, streaming platform. Let me see. Not really seeing anything on what it could be based around. Homelander coming to the new Mortal Kombat as a fighter? I don't know if that's true. Is that true? It says it here. We'll see. Wow. Okay, so they haven't really stated what uh they haven't really stated what the Boys movie will be about. Because we haven't seen season 4 yet. So maybe they're gonna wait till season 4 plays out. We'll see how that plays out at Amazon, and then build off of that universe there. I don't know what season 4 will hold. I have some type of expectations. But if we do not get the climax that we thought we would get after season 3 and season 4, um, maybe they'll do it on the big screen, which will be cool because then you get the Dolby sound and the chairs, the popcorn, and you get to see it fight it out on the big screen. It's gonna be pretty cool. Talking about movies. So The Boys coming to the movie theater, awesome, great. I love The Boys. One other movie that is out. Is it out now? Let me double check this. It is out, and it is Fast and the Furious 10. It is out. It came out May 19th. And if there's one movie series that just needs to end, it is Fast and the Furious. Sorry. Did I make some people furious with that? If you love Fast and Furious, it's great. I love a good Fast and Furious movie, but I feel like it should just ended when Paul Walker passed. I think it was a great send-off. I thought it was a great ending to a series. They didn't need to keep doing this money grab of continuing to do it. Like, I don't know. Am I being a hater? I don't like being a hater. I really don't. But am I being a hater? Or do you all agree with me? Leave in a comment. Do you think Fast and Furious ended when Paul Walker passed? Because it was such a good, ending to it all? Or do you want it to go to Fast and the Furious 20? Family for life. Fast and Furious 20, family for life. Got it. Done. I'm going to create it. I'm going to shoot it with the iPhone. I'm going to shoot with the iPhone in my Toyota Tundra drag racing Teslas. I don't know. Like, I loved Fast and Furious 1. I even like 2. Tokyo Drift was one of my favorites. And, the ones with Paul in it again were good. It just got a little more like actiony for me. It kind of like left the car racing thing behind and it became more action based. Which is fine. But the whole concept of the movie, like, 1 was supposed to be around street racing. Like, Brian O'Connor was a police officer trying to bust, these street racers from stealing goods from truckers. And it's an easy concept of the story, but you got to, like, see cool cars. You got to see some racing, and it had a little bit of action in it, but it was more realistic action, and them jumping onto, like, semis and stuff. Rather than now, you got, like, Vin Diesel sucker punching the Rock in his face, and then they both, being knocked out, or him, like, launching himself through the air to catch Letty from flying off of a tank and landing on a windshield, and he's like, "You good?" Like, no way. No. It's gotten to the point where it's, Dom has become an underwritten superhero in the world of Fast and the Furious, that it's kind of crazy to me. I just think that Fast and Furious needs to end. Let's end it with 10. It's an even number. Let's end it now. It should have ended back with Paul and be done with it. Let's move on. Then let's start creating some different movies, man. Unless these actors really love playing these roles that bad, to me, I feel like you'd be bored playing the same role over and over again. But hey, I guess money talks, right? I mean, if you're getting a paycheck, then screw it. But I don't know. Will I go see it? Probably. Not in theaters. I'd probably wait for it to come out on streaming for me to watch it, but will I watch it? More likely. Just to see how it ends. I want to know. I've invested all my time so far in watching them up to this point, so why not finish it if this is going to be the last one? But yeah, Fast and Furious 10, man. Let's go to Fast and Furious 30. Dirty 30. Fast and the Furious 60. Almost about to retire. I don't know. I'm speaking out my ass right now. But let me know what you think. Do you think Fast and Furious should continue on and on into, Fast and Furious Next Generation? You get to have the kids as the new Fast and Furious family. And Dom is like the old wise grandpa who gives his advice, and he just speaks the word of family. Let me try to get that deep voice. I love family. It's not deep enough. Huh? I love family. Family's what I got. Family powers through all. I can't get the voice. I don't know. I don't have that deep voice that Vin Diesel has. But, yeah. I think Fast and Furious should end. Maybe I'm wrong. Leave a comment what you think. Do you think Fast and Furious should continue on? Or do you think it should stop after this one and let's have something else? But that's all I got for you. It's a pretty short episode. Next week we'll have a guest on. I know I said this week, but it was scheduling conflicts. There's some stuff going on. So next week we'll have a guest. I am starting the gaming channel back up. It has been rebranded to the Nerdy Mind Gaming. So check out the Nerdy Mind Gaming. Episodes of the gaming channel come out on Saturdays. So check out the episodes on, not really episodes, but check out the channel and check out the videos on Saturday. The Nerdy Mind Gaming. It's been rebranded. Just like the podcast. Podcast episodes come out every Tuesday. Try to talk about different things. Hopefully some new nerdy stuff will come into the news, so we can talk about it. We got some pretty good stuff today. We talked about a little bit of Need for Speed, talked about Lord of the Rings MMO, talked about a little bit more combat, Street Fighter, Fast and Furious, The Boys. So we got a little bit of stuff in there today. Check out the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, many others if you want to listen to the audio version. And the video version is on YouTube, The Nerdy Mind. So search on all platforms, The Nerdy Mind, and you will find the channel. Leave a comment on anything you thought was interesting. I'd love to hear from y'all. Love to hear comments on what you would want me to talk about, what you want me to review, what you want me to watch. I'm doing a little more review reaction videos too, let along with the podcast and gaming channel. But yeah, leave a comment on what you thought about some of the things that we discussed today. I will be in the comment section and I will reply and see what you say. But yeah, as always, stay nerdy, my friends.